I'm so sorry these videos have taken so long. It's just these concepts. I never thought Sweetwater would say yes to them, and they did. And I didn't actually know how to execute these things, like a wizard and being kidnapped, like all these kind of bizarre scenarios for like a YouTuber to be in, or, the YouTuber version of me. So thank you for your patience. That's why I'm just doing a quick check-in. This next video should be out in 2 weeks. It's about the MXR Timmy, who comes to visit the studio, and the MXR Duke of Tone. And he's got a little cowboy hat. I gotta have that stick down a little bit more, a little bit less than the lady. And then a little rope here for him. He's a Southern man and he doesn't mess around. These pedals are interesting. I'm really, again, like the biggest problem with a mini pedal is not that they're mini, it's that they're tall. And so sometimes when you step on them, unless they're really secured down, like you got the zip ties, they can go like sideways, especially if you got fat old feet like me. You can make some missteps. However, I think these pedals serve better as always on anyway. So you just a little set and forget kind of thing, especially on like a quick travel board. Or obviously if you have a switcher going on, then it's not a problem. But these both, I think, just fit great as like a way to open up your amp and as a way to like augment certain frequencies. I mean, the Timmy especially does between the hard clipping and the soft clipping, really has a really very distinct, three different distinct tones. Whereas the Duke of Tone is like that blues breaker sound, right? And so you get a very specific, it's like you love it or I wouldn't say hate it, but you love it or it's not for you. But both, I mean, the Duke of Tone into a Marshall or a Marshall style amp, so cool. I recently played a show. I didn't use these pedals because I was still filming for my buddy Bobby Watson. It was an ASCAP takeover, and the album that he recorded with this producer, Caitlin Malone, she's a very successful producer. Her husband is this like hotshot session guy, right? This guy Devin, and he's like a top tier guy, right? And I heard this guitar parts. I'm like, wow, these are beautiful guitars. And so I played guitar in this show, and it was going fine. The first song, finishes up. I'm like, oh, great, we're sounding good. And then I look out in the crowd, and I see Devin. I'm like, oh my gosh, like the guy who recorded these parts, probably like one of the top first call session guys in Nashville, is like 20 feet away looking at me play his parts to him. It was a little intimidating, right? I live in Nashville, but I'm like in my own little world. I'm not even like in the YouTube world. I'm in just in like this is my world, right? This and like my family. Like that's pretty much my like interaction with things, and with you guys, of course. So like for me to like run like into the like very serious player world was so intimidating. But I only had like 5 seconds to like lock it in, right? So I locked in. But I was like, wait, I'm gonna throw up. This guy's right here watching me play his parts to him, and he's like the guy. I ended up introducing myself to him. Such a nice guy too. After the show, I like pumped myself up. I was like, okay, you can do this. You can talk to him. So I introduced myself to him, just to say like, hey, like, sorry if I butchered your guitar parts. You're a great guitarist. Anyway, so hopefully I get to. I need more rounds. Like obviously I'm like doing video stuff all the time, so I don't have the time to like go out and play shows and get tour tight. I used to be tour tight. Now I'm not even close to tour tight. I don't play enough guitar, right? I'm shooting videos. Last quick thing was about Rick Beato Records. So I posted some shorts on that, and I'll link them below. But I really think there's something there, and the YouTube and guitar community is much more powerful than I think some people realize. I wouldn't have any kind of movement in the music industry if it wasn't for guitar YouTube, right? And that is a testament to how powerful it is, how it can, I mean, there's literally millions, probably hundreds of millions of dollars behind the people who love guitars and guitar music. If that is not enough to support 8 artists a year. Like, again, like, I am so much more optimistic than probably everyone else on this, because I used to do this kind of stuff. Like, I ran events for large brands, right? I would find communities that were passionate, and I would build events around these communities. I did it for Nike. I did it for big brands. Okay, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but it's like I'm not making it up when I'm saying I see something here that could be awesome, that could support like people who are artists, people who love art, and we could not bring back, because you can never go back to like what it was before, but you can bring forth something new, something that is exciting, that supports musicians, right? That supports guitarists, and it sidesteps. Again, we're playing inside this frame of the record labels are here doing this, and we need to get in here. No, no, no. We need to build our own thing right here, right? We need to build a secondary market or a secondary, scene, right? And you do, I mean, and all the elements are there, right? The finance, like the capital is there, right? The enthusiasm is there. The why is there, right? The why is the artists. The artists are the reason that things are happening. They are creating whether or not there's money, right? The people who, the enthusiasm, the people who like that kind of stuff is there. All you got to do is go on YouTube. There wouldn't be hundreds of guitar YouTubers. There wouldn't be hundreds of guitar YouTubers if there wasn't a serious passionate group. I mean, how can Joe Bonamassa sell out a yacht every year or sell out, his little cruise? Like, how could that happen if there aren't people out there that love guitar? So all you need is we used to call them mavens, right? If you guys know Seth Godin, but the people that can signal, hey, here's a new thing, right? Guys like, I mean, the word influencer isn't a good enough term. So maybe like cultural leaders, right? Cultural leader, Rick Beato, Rhett Shull, and even get the guitarists to go out there who have like great influence. You could get Joe Bonamassa. You could even get the retailers, but you get them all to point, not to look at the record label fake market that they've built, but our market that we've built, the guitar market, this new thing, Rick Beato Records. I mean, it doesn't have to be Rick Beato, but it just makes sense in my mind that he could do it. He doesn't even have to run it. He can hire outside people to run it, right? And then like you don't have to play by the Spotify rules. You don't have to play by that because you already have a captured and essentially moded off market. Like no one else can get in there, right? Like the major labels can't play in our scene. Don't you see how powerful that is? The major labels aren't able to break through. Like Sony, BMG, they're not going to come and say like, hey, we want to go after this market, so let's build a band for this market. And if they do, that's also good, because that means that we are taking their attention and we are showing them that this is a viable market. So just think about it. Again, if you need a whole rundown of what I think it should be, it's in these shorts that I've linked below. But I'm going to touch on this probably a lot more, because I think there's something there. I think there's something that we can capitalize on. And I've done it before, and I bet you, again, if I had 5 million subs, I would do it. Like, it's as simple as that. I would just get everyone together. Like, this is how you do it. You would say, let's say I'm pitching Sweetwater, right? Sweetwater, here's what I'm looking to do. Like, I need, this is the project. I'm going to find these bands. Let me know if you have a band that you're looking at too. I want these bands to come down to my Rick Beato, to the Rick Beato studio to record EP, right? I'd like you to finance their travel and this, and in return, we are going to highlight, it's going to be a 8-episode series where they're using your gear, and it's linked all back to you. It can actually even live on Sweetwater's page if you want, whatever. Now, you all probably also have a secondary financier, so that what might be an actual manufacturer, whether that is Gibson or that's something like tertiary, like, or not tertiary, but like an even separate industry. Like, what would be another one? Like Waves or Universal Audio or something like that. Like, who's looking to get down on this? Because when you're at Rick's level, you get to sit down with the guys who are deciding the marketing spends, right? You get to sit down, not the account managers, not the people who are not like the vertical manager. You get to sit with the guy at the very top of the spend. Like, where are we putting, like, we have 30 million to spend this year on marketing campaigns, where can we put it? Like, this is the thing. This is your flagship. This is your evergreen. This is your thing that can run year round and captivate people. And the reason why it's important is because when you do the tour, Rick Beato Live, right? Rick Beato Records Live, that's bringing the digital world into the real world. And that's what makes it special. That's what makes it exciting. That's when you're like, oh, the thing that I was watching on my stupid little phone, but now it's a real thing that I can interact with. And at these tours, you have like the cool booths. Come try to play a 13 gauge string guitar, whatever it is. Like, you have like the fun interactive side. You have, some photo booths set up or whatever it is. You got funnel cake, right? You make it like a cool, fun thing. You can bring your family to, right? Kid zone, right? You make those things so people come and they go, gosh, the Rick Beato Records tour really was a lot of fun, right? And it sticks. And then they think about it, and it's something that's real. It's not just a stupid digital thing, right? So that's why I think it could work, because I don't think there's any other industry that can, or vertical, right? There's no other like genre on YouTube that could make that feel cool, because music is the really only thing that could be performed live and really affect you emotionally. Like film YouTube, you all sit down and you watch a video if they do like a film festival. But you have to watch that video. Music is the only thing that you listen to, and you're actively listening, and your mind generates things as you're watching it, right? You can't do that with video because it's taking your eyes. But with music, something can happen where memories come back, memories are formed, feelings happen, right? Your brain starts like generating things. And that's why live performance, live music is such an unbelievable thing. Anyway, hope you join me. Join me in my enthusiasm. Like, it's not wrong to dream big. And again, I'm a small fry. I'm tiny on YouTube. And I'm not telling these big guys what to do. However, I just encourage everyone to let's start thinking bigger, right? Let's start dreaming bigger. If we could have a huge guitar market, wouldn't we take it? Wouldn't we want that? Don't we deserve that? Guitarists deserve their own like space and genre and like thing and movement, right? We all friggin' love these things. Like, we can do it. I really think we can. I'm very confident, obviously. And I invite you to be confident with me. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.